If you want 360 waves, do not get these haircuts. Now, haircut number one, the mid fade. This is very, very, very popular. It's not the worst one on here, but it's very popular, which makes it bad. Now, this is a very popular image. Now, cons, there's no pros to this, only cons. Cons, you lose almost all of your progress on the sides and the back, which are the hardest parts to get your waves on. Beginners struggle for months to get their waves on the sides and back because they get haircuts like these. Do not get this haircut. It's a no-no. Elite, any stage of waving, elite, beginner, intermediate, do not get this haircut. Now, we have the high fade. This is even worse. Instead of losing almost all your side and back progress, you lose all your progress. Why would you get this haircut? It makes no sense. This haircut will literally ruin your waves. And if you get this once, it's all over. You might as well scalp. Now, this could also be called 180 waves, right? 180 waves, those are not waves. Honestly, I'm gonna just say it. 180 waves are not waves. It's a haircut. Almost anyone with the right hair texture, which is most, people of African American descent, they can get these type of waves. 180 waves. They're not waves. You're not a waver if you have 180 waves. I want you to be a waver, so watch my videos and hop on 360, 720, 540, etc., etc. Hop on those waves. Stop this 180 wave stuff, man. 180 waves are not waves. 180 waves are not waves. Do not get this haircut, especially if you have any type of waves. Do not get the ball fade or the high fade like this. Please do not do that if you want waves. Now, we're going to the best one on this list. The best one, not in terms of looks, but it's up there. But the best in overall versatility. Now, the mid taper. This is the safest option you can go with 360 waves. I just got this haircut two days ago. I'm wolfing, not that much, but I am wolfing. But the mid taper, it takes away a tiny, 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 tiny bit of progress on your sides, if any at all. And it just overall maintains your wolf, and it looks great. I highly recommend this haircut. If you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, even elite, get this haircut. It's the safest one. Don't know what to get, but your hair just looks terrible and you gotta go get a lineup. Get a mid taper. You can't go wrong with a mid taper. Now we go into the goat fade, as Poppy Blasted calls it. It's his haircut, or a low or mid drop. If you're getting this haircut, don't tell your barber, give me a goat fade. He might not know what that is. Ask for a low or mid drop fade. Now, as you can see, this is my head. I've gotten this before. Only gotten this once. It's the only time I've ever gotten it. I must say, it looks great. And you would think you lose a lot of progress on the sides and back. You don't really. But if you are not elite, do not get this haircut. If your connections on the sides and the back aren't how you want them to be, don't get this haircut. You're going to limit all the progress you can be making with those sides. Now, some really bad cons with this. Yeah, like I just said, beginners, intermediate level waivers, don't get this haircut. Wait till you're elite. And then once you get the haircut, you do have to, gain that progress back on the sides and the back. But it's not as hard as you would think. It only takes maybe 1 month. You just do 1 8 weeks wolf, and there'll be no difference between all your waves or how the connection on the side were before you got this haircut and after. It only takes around 6 8 weeks wolf to fix that, if you're elite. So do not get this haircut unless you're elite. It's tempting, but it won't even look as good as it could be. Now, the high taper. Now, in my opinion, I'm not even going to say that. This is the best looking taper you can get. Not even in my opinion. This is the best looking taper you can get. It makes it very easy to maintain your wolf. It is very good to get if you're elite. Even if you're intermediate. The thing about this haircut, It's the highest sort of fade you can get as an intermediate level waver. Beginners, stay away from this. You're going to lose progress on the sides. All the way up here, you're going to lose progress on the sides. It's not going to be fun. Do not get a high taper. If you're a beginner, mid taper is the highest you can go. Now, you do lose some progress on the sides every single time you get this haircut. But depending on how high your wolf is, how much hair you have on your head, how long you're wolfing, you won't lose as much. Now, if you just cut down a wolf to 1.5 3 weeks prior and you get a high taper, you're not going to lose that much, if any progress at all. But if you're 9 weeks wolfing and you haven't been getting high tapers consistently, and you just decide to get a high taper randomly, you will lose some progress on the sides, but nothing too crazy. You'll get it back in around 1 to 2 weeks. But if you're a beginner and you get this haircut, that's it. It's not that's it, but you're gonna really hinder your ability to get waves on the sides, because you need to wolf your hair out, especially on the sides. And getting high tapers just makes it so like you're cutting down your wolf all the time, even though you're not. Don't get this taper if you're not elite or intermediate. But if you are, feel free. I think it looks the best. As you can see in this picture, my head again. Love that haircut. Get this taper. Now, this. Nothing at all. The just growing out your wolf, you know, how a lot of waivers were during the pandemic, like Jeezy right here. Just, you know, no tapers, because ain't nobody was going outside back then, 2 years ago. But yeah, no taper, maybe a lineup, but no taper or a low taper too. Low tapers honestly don't look that good. Those baby tapers, I hate how those look. You can get those if you're a beginner, but they just don't look that good. Just get no taper as a beginner, because your hair is going to be low either way. Then get a high taper. Then get a mid taper. But there's actually some pros to not getting any type of tapers at all. The first pro, you know, if you're just hunkering down, only focusing on waving, you do get your waves all the way down to your sideburns, as you would call the shoreline. There's no problem with getting your waves down there, because you know you're really brushing and you're not, you know, fading that area every 2 weeks. Now, the cons. It looks terrible. Do not go outside. If, you know, you got this. Do not go outside. It's just, you're gonna look crazy. Do not go outside unless it's going to the barber. Trust me. It's not even from personal experience, but don't go outside. I've went like 4 weeks waving without getting, you know, any type of lineup or anything, and you'll be looking crazy. So yeah, don't go outside with this. Just get a haircut, or at least a lineup. At the very least, get a lineup. Now, when you're doing this for a long time, you start to develop a shag. It's like a little puff of hair in the back of your head. It looks like this, actually, but it's real hair. And since you wear a do-rag, you separate it. It's the side of your head you don't brush, the only part of your hair you don't brush. If you go a long time without getting a haircut, as you can see here, you can develop a shag. Now, some people have developed this entire hairstyle, but it looks terrible, bro. It looks trash. Do not. If you got a shag, we'll just cut that off. Cut it off once you get your haircut. It looks kind of nasty, bro. Honestly. But yeah, full haircut guide for 360 waves. These are the type of haircuts you should and should not get. I did clickbait you at the beginning, but you know, at the end you get to learn. Watch this video before your haircuts, and to know what to do after you finally get that haircut, watch this video right here. Thanks for watching. God bless.